Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data, and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Woo woo. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have the dynamic comedic duo, Julie and Brandy, back again.
It's been too
wearing
long.
white, looking gorgeous, like two little virgins in the wind.
That's what we are.
And
We're two virgins.
and it's been a minute. A lot of
Yes.
people thought that you had ended your friendship with me. I had to be very clear that there was a death in the family. And you were
Yes.
scheduled to come on a few weeks ago, and we had to reschedule, and then this was the next available date for both of us. But
So
your
we haven't
little-
seen
your
you
little
since-
dog has gone to doggy heaven.
Yeah,
And
that was terrible.
I know.
And
such-
your flowers, which were very expensive, Heather.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I mean, people don't even realize that you have to go to a specific, florist to get the nice flowers.
I am so excited to tell you that I told Peter, send Brandy flowers, and he did it all.
Well, have you looked to see how much he spent? Because you might get irritated.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No. I
Because
think I
I-
gave him the amount, and so I'm glad that it reflected the
Oh,
amount.
they were
Yes.
beautiful.
Okay, good. And we're recording this a few days early, so we have a girls' night that's happening, and I'm pretty excited. We're going to a new hotspot called Drake's, not related to my son. No, he does not own a nightclub.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
And
Julie is allowed at the girls' nights, even though she has cock-blocked us in the past.
I know.
When-
Sorry.
When the golfers came up to us at your beautiful home,
yes,
Julie tried to ruin our fun with the golfers.
I know.
I know. I'm sorry. It's so annoying having me and girls, but I really appreciate it. I'll really try my best to be like,
Yes,
hey, guys. What's up? No, we love it when you just insert yourselves. Come on. We love it.
Yeah,
Girls' night.
she,
No, it's girls'
she
night.
was like, yeah, a lot of eye rolling. And,
Yeah.
And we're all pretty buzzed. And so, yeah, all of us were pretty excited to see these young guys. We went into the house. I brought them out Coors
White
Light and
Claws.
stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Because they asked for it. You got anything to drink in there? I mean, like, we sure do. We've been waiting for you. Everyone's just sitting here waiting for you. I
That's
love
exactly what happened.
That is what she
exactly
did, too.
what happened.
it. They asked for it.
She was literally stunned, Heather, that men drive up in golf carts and approach women who are,
Of a certain age?
slutty dancing in their
okay.
own pool.
All right.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. It was
No.
that we were all slutty dancing in your pool,
Yeah.
being ourselves, and that men had the audacity to drive up in the golf carts, like, hey.
What's going on here?
I loved every second of
I
it.
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
I
we're
really
sorry.
did.
I
used to
will
it.
now because I apologize.
We'll have another weekend, even though it's going to be really hot. I say we do another weekend and just sit in the pool and wait to see if anybody
comes.
comes by, which probably won't be too many people when it's like middle of July, but we're still going to go.
Well, you're not going to, lock up the house for the burning hot summer, are you?
No, we'll probably go in a few weeks, even though it's super hot.
Yeah,
we'll probably
we
go.
don't care if it's 1,000 degrees. We love it there.
Yeah, you just go in a pool with a big hat. And
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
that.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get a one-piece bathing suit with a serape that goes around, and I'm gonna jiggle the titties and wait for them to come.
It's tuck friendly.
I'm gonna support. Yeah, exactly.
The less well-off golfers do golf when it's that hot because it's
Yes,
cheaper.
yes, and it's not crowded,
Yeah.
so that Drake will do it.
Right.
Listen, I don't know if you know what's going on with Dorit.
We don't.
no.
Dorit Kemsley of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has been accused of stiffing a nurse who claims to have helped her after plastic surgery. So I'm guessing she got a lower facelift.
I can't wait for
For
mine.
what? Okay.
She doesn't need
She
it
does
yet,
not
but
need
I'm
it
guessing
yet.
that's what she got because that's what a lot of people are doing. Based on what she needed and my knowledge of procedures, okay?
Right.
And a lot of my friends are getting it, and I'm probably next in line. But anyway,
Okay.
this girl, Natalie, said she's a private nurse, so it's after you get the plastic surgery, you have the person, come to your house, drain your blood things or whatever, and then, just make sure that you, have some smoothies and live. So she worked 86 hours at $100 an hour.
Ooh.
Wow.
So it was a few days, I guess, after.
Wow.
And so she owes her $8,600, $8,675 to be exact. And so she's demanded, she wants her actually to appear in court with her financial records. And she wants to absolutely get the debt.
What?
So she just completely stiffed her, the entire amount, which is kind of crazy, according to this
insane.
woman,
You'd think
allegedly.
you'd pay her at least $4,000 and be like, no, I thought we agreed on $50 an hour.
Wait, I think maybe she did pay her partial. No, she says she still owes her the $8,600, according to this.
Doesn't that seem a very high rate?
$100 an hour, and you don't want her to leave.
Well, you know what happened, mind you? PK was so busy doing so many business deals with Boy George, and I had, a little something, just a little tightening for when I look out the window in my outfits. I needed a stronger profile, mind you. And Phoenix and Jagger, they were busy with their schooling and whatnot. And so I wanted a professional nurse. Now, that nurse, I thought PK had paid her, and he thought I had paid her. So there was absolutely just a misunderstanding. And Natalie, I call her Natalia, is a very, very sweet lady. And it's all good. And actually, there's no drama here.
Doesn't she sound like the type of person that would just change someone's name? It's like, it's Natalie.
And she's like, Natalia, can I please have a little smoothie and a straw, mind you?
So that's what happened.
I mean,
What do they have to do, Heather? Take blood out of the side of your face that drains up into
You know what? Let
tubes
me
and-
tell
I
you
don't
something.
know. I think so.
Can I
That I
just-
haven't had done. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna probably get
I'm
a
doing it.
consulting. Yes.
Yeah.
Go on.
first of all, I had a total knee
I'm
replacement.
gonna go to Dr. Kasabian actually for that. He told me he'd give me a deal. I
I'm
just
going
got
to
Botox
Margaret
in.
Joseph's guy.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to Dr. Kasabian.
Okay, well, that Dr.
Lift
Kasabian's
MD.
expensive. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
whatever.
we're all
he's
gonna
he's
get it.
amazing. Go on. Yes.
I just want to say I had a total knee replacement. Okay.
Yeah.
And which I believe would be a similar or worse recouping than, let's say, a lower facelift that
Yeah.
she needed a full nurse for to pay her $8,600.
Okay.
Okay. I had a full nurse named Brandy Howard who literally may as
I
well
ordered
pushed me out of the bed.
I ordered vodka the first hour in Postmates because she was so annoying. I had to just start drinking to be around her.
No one helped me. I wiped my own ass. I went into my own shower. I had to get up by myself to walk. I did everything by myself for the most part, except maybe for the first 48 hours. The fact that she had anyone there doing anything, it makes me feel insane because she didn't need it.
I imagine
no one
that
needs
does
it.
hurt.
Yeah, I'm sure it hurts. And
Right?
PK
Well, actually,
could have
okay.
gotten her some smoothies rather than hire a nurse to do any. Something about all of this is
PK's
bugging
like
me.
off in London, like doing his TV show.
Jagger could have done it.
Oh, that's true.
Well, I have some other Bravo juice.
God.
Vanderpump Rules. This is Faith. Faith is the one in the show that she was an elderly caregiver. And
Oh, I didn't remember
before
that.
Brittany and Jax got married, Jax had an evening with her. And I always wondered if the woman was still in the hospital bed, but he went over to wherever work she was doing. And they had a moment, and she recorded him talking to her, and shared it with one of the other cast members, which then it got out. That was like the second juiciest scandal, I think, up to this one. This is juicy. Kyle Richards.
Oh.
Some people are suspicious of Kyle Richards' relationship with this girl in the back here. She is a singer, and she is also, I guess she got to go on Teddy's jet for Teddy's birthday, and they share a trainer. Here they are. And there's exactly.
Uh-oh.
So that is exactly what the fans are saying is uh-oh. So here's a photo of Kyle working out with this girl. She's
Oy
fully
vey.
tattooed.
Yeah.
She has a tattooed neck.
Yep.
And it's reminding a lot of people of when Bronwyn first of OC became
Right.
a lesbian. Her first lover was a tattooed, necked, good-looking girl.
Right.
And there just seems to be a lot of photos, a lot of posting of it. And people are wondering, is this a real possible relationship? Other people said no. She's said to like guys. Other people said no, she's bi. Other people said, is this a storyline
Right.
to tease it? Because what else does she have going on? Or is there real issues with Mauricio? Or is it just that they both like working out?
It seems a bit of a troll simply because this is one of the worst photos I've ever seen. The girl has her tongue out.
Because she's like that.
And Kyle's
She's like,
looking oddly into her own camera. It's like you couldn't take one extra picture where we're all prepared for the photo. But I know
she's trying to be cool, like do those cool non-curated photos like she did for the first 20 years of Instagram. Now it's
now it's just like whoops.
We're not lesing out.
Yeah.
We're just working out.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes.
We're not lesing out at all.
I do
I
think
like guys.
It's a good time to let people know though, because Ozempic and the weight loss things are really blowing up.
Yeah.
And it's been,
it's turning people gay.
It's that's one of the side effects. I'm sorry.
It is. I love that.
It's like if you're a woman and you want to stay in your marriage, be careful with Ozempic because you're going to start liking that pussy.
Also, they say your rings could fall off, which just means you've lost weight.
Right.
And your rings could fall off. So your wedding ring could fall off during Ozempic, and then that same now free finger can go finger your friend.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Finger your friend.
That's like, if you're on Ozempic, give me a ring.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a trainer. She's going to start training people.
Probably what happened.
I started a training
I think
business.
that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like, I mean, it's and it could be a side effect of Ozempic. There hasn't been enough research.
No, there really hasn't. I hope that's the side effect of it. Have you seen what's going on with Russell Simmons and his daughters?
No.
Okay, so he has these two daughters. You remember when Kimora Lee Simmons had her own show and
Of course
they
we
broke
do.
up? So Kimora was a model and she married Russell Simmons. And she had maybe it wasn't short-lived. It was during the E-Style Network time of everyone having a reality show.
That was one of our favorite reality shows of all time.
Okay, so then she had the 2 or 3 little girls. I don't know. Then she married this guy who allegedly, this guy named Tim, allegedly there was a big financial snafu that happened with Russell Simmons and him, this husband of hers. Anyway, that's important to the story. Meanwhile, the 2 girls are now like college age. They've like graduated from Harvard, whatever. And one of them goes on her Instagram stories and is crying about how awful the dad is to her, that he cut her, that she was in Greece and he cut off her card or something. And some people are like, okay, but you did graduate from college and like your mom has some money and like whatever. Other people are like, no, he actually cut her off at 15. And she's also crying saying, Dad, I don't want to talk to you because you say that my mom's a piece of shit. Then she got on Instagram Live, Kimora Lee, and she's like, looking back at my life, you know what was really fucking weird, Russell? That I started dating you when I was 16. So now everyone's like, that is weird, and that is a weird grooming thing. And she's like, I was a model, and I met you, and da-da-da. But then they got divorced, and they seemed for a long time during that show to have a decent divorce, and she got a lot of money, but he keeps bringing up this lawsuit and this stealing situation with this guy that she dated or got married to named Tim that somehow stole money from him. And it's a big mess, and it's all happening on Instagram Live. And the consensus is pretty girls with a Harvard education, you need to start working. And Russell Simmons is a weird dick that a lot of people have accused a lot of things of.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to be like a loving father at this point.
Russell Simmons has definitely not gotten dragged because he was in the Me Too thing, wasn't he?
I thought so. I don't remember what he did.
There were Me Too stuff.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
you
know
had
the details.
Julie has always had a huge problem with him. And
I know for not even before that, and I didn't
feel
even
like
know
we
why.
shouldn't. Why? Because he's into yoga.
I don't know
Why
what
was
it
he so
was.
into yoga?
That's what Julie hated.
There was something, it was yoga and the bracelets and
Yeah.
you're vegan and it's like, what are you hiding? And I didn't believe you. And it's just something when you're so self-righteous. I know you're hiding something.
And you know what? We did all know. We might not have remembered, but it's in the zeitgeist that he started dating her quite young. And we all knew, we forgot because we were all fine with it then. And
it's like Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Her manager was 50. She met him when she was 12. But nothing happened, even though he got divorced. Nothing happened until she turned 18. And then was like, you know who I'm in love with? My 54-year-old manager that I met when I was 12.
She did seem in love with him, though.
It worked out. She was dedicated in love with him till the day he died.
And now
But
she
it was
also
weird.
did some Ozempic because she does seem like she likes the puss a little.
Well, now she has stiff person syndrome.
What? That's not real. What?
No, it's called stiff person syndrome.
So what?
I don't know. It's painful, but that's why she said to cancel her
Oh,
things.
no.
Oh, I thought this was
And
a joke.
I know
I
it's
did
not.
too.
I don't know what it is, but honestly,
no.
it should be called Celine Dion.
It needs
syndrome.
a new. It has to have a new
Because
name.
it's not well known. I mean, I hope there's a cure, but kind of like a Lou Gehrig's disease, I think it should be called Celine Dion.
Yeah, the Celine Dion. Is it something where she's literally stiff?
No, I really don't know the things about it, but it's like sad.
That
I don't know.
sucks.
Yeah, it really does suck.
We need to do some research. Well,
Yeah.
before she got stiff person syndrome, she did seem like she was like veering like on the les spectrum to a little lesy.
I could see someone that's so dedicated to their husband who's deceased to then just go,
Yeah.
he was the only man I loved. He was the only man I knew. But when you see a woman, it's a completely different thing. And I think that my husband and my boys would completely support a relationship like this. But another man coming, no. That's what I think.
I think
I hope
that
she
makes
gets
sense.
better, and I hope she becomes a lesbian. She doesn't need to lose any more weight, but she could become a lesbian.
But that's again, fits in with what we were saying. She's getting real too skinny, and then
Yeah.
just starts
A
fingering.
woman could really help her with her stiff syndrome. They're caregivers. Just
Just
not the one who
that's
took care of
true.
Dorit.
Yeah, and
Right.
just relax.
right?
Yeah.
Just relax. Just
Yeah.
okay.
Be careful, Heather. We're going to get you over.
Anytime. I mean, I listen. Something happens to Peter. I've said it very clear. I just did a show with Chris about how awful it would be to have to like date on an app. I mean, no. If something happens to Peter, I'm gonna be like, hot girls that want to work out with me with a tattooed
Yeah.
neck. Come my
Yeah.
way.
First
Because
TikTok
I
is
am
your-
not looking for another, 50-ish, broken man
Yeah.
that likes to golf with a bad knee that is
Right.
clearing his throat. I've done that.
That sounds like me.
But there
Literally
is
sounds like me.
currently a band of tattooed trainer women that are plotting Peter's death.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
this moment.
And your first TikTok is
Yeah.
going to be your hands filled with jewelry, and you're going to go whoosh, and they're all going to fly off. And you're going to be like, "I'm ready." And that's
Yes.
it.
You know how some people will say, like, this is sad, but like I developed an eating disorder because some kid in middle school said I was fat or whatever.
Yeah.
When I was around 24, I went to a dinner with a couple people, and this lesbian said, Heather, no lesbian would ever want you. You are like the most undesirable type to a lesbian. And I think that it just stuck in my head. And I really don't, I've literally never been hit on by a woman in my life. I really think I'm like the opposite of what a lesbian would want.
Because she just thought you were violently heterosexual.
Maybe.
Violently.
You know?
I don't know.
Because if
And
you've
I
never
just-
been hit on by a woman, that's also lesbians are looking like, nah, she's too,
Yeah,
she's
that's probably
super straight.
Yeah. I
You're
just-
just radiating.
Yeah.
No.
Radiating straight.
Yeah.
Which is no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's what got into me.
Wow.
Yeah. Can we talk about your favorite new documentary, Shiny Happy People?
Oh, talking about her.
This is the Duggars. I watched half of it. And
Didn't finish it?
I didn't finish it yet, but I was watching it. Basically, it really goes down the path of how what's the dad's name?
Bob, Joe Bob or
Bob
something?
Bob
Jim Bob?
Duggars
Jim
kind
Bob?
of just became part of this like super Christian sect, and Michelle wasn't even that Christian. She had boyfriends. She kissed without purpose.
Yeah, she had opinions.
Yeah.
She had her own
Yeah,
life.
and then she met him, and they fell in love, and then she was extremely fertile, and they had all these kids.
I mean-
and they were struggling. He had like 3 jobs before they were discovered by TLC. And then at first, before they had the series, they would just do like a couple specials because people were, and they rated so well. And it was interesting to see how the Learning Channel went from actually you learning how to like, how a groundbreaking surgery was done to like multiple Christian kid families to little people or extremely overweight people.
And
It's
like
really,
Honey Boo Boo.
yeah, it's either super overweight, or super tiny,
Yeah.
or multiple kids. And now it's like Pimple Popper and things like that.
Did you watch these shows, the Duggars?
I never really, you know what? Sometimes I'd watch them, and I did relate to what they were saying in the doc that sometimes there was something like comforting in a way that I was like, oh my God, these kids are so nice and they do all this stuff. And in larger Catholic families, so like you were sort of assigned to like raise a littler kid. And that would kind of happen. So but I did think it was bad that like, because I remember when my one friend, her mom got pregnant, and she ended up having Liz. When Liz's mom got pregnant with the last kid, she always tells us, it's one of my favorite stories. And so she said, the mom was only like maybe 41 or something, but back then they were just like, "You're a disgusting old whore."
Yeah.
Like they were just
Isn't
like
it creepy to think about? Like,
and so they sat at the table and they were like, "Well, we're not gonna redo the floors just yet," or something. And they're like, "Why?" And they're like, "Well, your mom's having another baby." And her older sister threw down her napkin and was like, "I am not raising this one," and like ran upstairs and was just like, "Yes." And I mean,
poor Liz was like, she was talking about me.
Yeah, no. No, but then but it is kind of a thing. But I did notice that like when they had all those kids, but made the girls were the stars because you'd watch them and they were so wonderful and they were so efficient.
Yeah.
And then the kids were really disciplined, so that nobody was like a wild bad kid. It also made me realize like you can raise like really well behaved kids if you use these principles and make them scared as shit. I don't know.
The show, I could see that it was soothing because even the clips, I was like, I like watching them all cook
and make bread.
Yeah, and like gender roles that are totally problematic. And I did find it soothing. And I'm just like, they're not annoying kids. I don't have to hear them laughing.
Right.
And enjoying life. And I liked it.
Then, of course, we get to the horrible molestation and everything of Josh Duggar. And I didn't know that he was like going to D.C. and all that type of stuff. And then you wrote in a text, you're like, the most disturbing is how they got paid. None of these kids got paid.
I wanted you to finish it because I mean, the whole thing, I was riveted. I watched it all twice. Because, again, I didn't watch this show.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see, shocked and disgusted to see them sitting on with, Hoda Kotb and announcing their 20th kid. I was like, whoa, I'm going to vomit if I imagine that she's had 20 children. It looked so gross. And I'm like, everyone, Oprah, having these people on. I'm like, you're sitting there with two people with 20 children and you're not just, something is so icky about it. So that was totally crazy going back in this cultural moment in time where it's not like the people who have 8 kids at once that you're just like, you're fucked. They have those kids at once.
Well, also, if I may interject,
Yes.
they're during the entire time of that show, they started to reveal them wearing very compound-like clothing. The dresses with the collars, the girl's hair had to be long.
Bloomers under the skirt.
Just even looking at her, you can tell
The mom.
she is being controlled and in a cult. The hair and the way that they're dressed, the girls alone should have been a red flag for certainly anyone who's having them on talk shows.
But the thing about the thing about the mom is that the mom was like the oppressed that became the oppressor.
Yes.
She was the worst.
The worst.
I mean, that's sad. This is internal sexism, I guess.
So let
but
me
I'm
ask
just
you,
I didn't like that mom.
Where are they now? Where are they now?
The most disturbing to me, I mean, obviously all of the molesting and a lot of that stuff you have to Google because whatever deal they made with this documentary or Amazon Prime,
they dance around it a little.
They dance around.
Yeah.
So I was deep diving into that and it was not good.
Yeah.
It was bad. What they found on his computer.
Well, can't you just tell us that? It's Juicy Scoop.
Well, it was that he had been molesting the sisters. It had been 3 sisters and a babysitter that he was molesting while they were sleeping.
Okay.
The oldest sister, I forget, their names are Jenna and Jesus or whatever.
Yeah.
The older one was the one that was finally that got him in trouble with the dad.
Okay.
The dad took him down.
Right.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, and then he went to a place for a year or something to work on houses, and that was supposed to through the Christian church they were part of to be hey, you were curious, but this is not okay.
Yeah.
And they told the cameras, oh, he's just helping build these houses in this other place. Okay, so
through a sect of the
church,
church, quote unquote, where the guy Bill Gothard or whatever would literally say to people, you have to hit your kids, girls have to be subservient, the boy is the king of the place. So we're coming now not just from a normal Christian thinking.
Yeah.
We're coming from, this is what boys get to do, this is what girls get to do. And so if he's molesting, they're not going to they're just going to try and shoo him away for a little bit because
Right.
it's not a big deal.
Right.
And I'm not a big fan of religion, but I do feel bad kind of like generalizing it as Christian because it is a cult.
Right,
And
right.
there's normal Christian people out there.
Right.
anymore.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's not normal.
It's his weird thing under this guy's chi-chis.
Yeah.
And you
Okay,
saw the
so
one where
then-
he paddled the boy on stage, right?
No, I didn't see that. He did
That guy, Bill Gothard, right? Is he?
It was
he the one?
I don't know if it
different
was him.
one?
It was a different guy who was one of the preachers.
In front of the huge church, Heather, he brings a boy up there and shows everyone how to spank a boy, and then he makes the boy hug him tighter and hug him again after.
Oh.
It is horrifying.
That is one of the most horrific
And so,
moments.
what in this documentary? What do they say about TLC? When did TLC
Okay,
realize?
So first, let me tell you that I was watching it and I was like, "This Josh Duggar, that's the molester."
Yeah.
I was like, if he was a young person when he did it,
Yeah.
I was like, that doesn't necessarily make him a pedophile. That just makes him a creep
Yeah.
and a molester. But that he could now be molesting adults and
Right.
not have an interest in younger. So
Right.
that's why I needed to Google because I needed
Right.
to know, why are you in jail, sir? And what happened was they found on his
So then he gets married. He has a couple kids, and then
He
he's
has, like,
working
5
at the car sales place.
he owns it,
Okay.
of course, because his father lets him own things, but none
Yeah.
of the girls.
Right.
And he has a special hard drive because they have this app that you can put on your computer for religious people that is like you're called like the Watcher.
Oh.
That blocks any religious man from like having like looking at porn or bad stuff on his computer.
Oh
so
my
he,
God.
he and they all just voluntarily do it. He had a special hard drive which they found like over 2,000 pieces of child pornography, including those with toddlers. And the person who testified after seeing it said that he had a violent and unnatural interest in very young children. In court.
And so now he's doing 12 years or something?
Yeah, and he's appealing it. But so that all happened. The disgusting father, Jim Bob, wanted to save the show. He's doing everything he can to save the show. They make the little girls who are teenagers go on and be like, we still love him.
But that's before he gets caught with the hard drive.
Right.
That's just when it comes out because someone discovered the reports from years back when he was 15.
Yes,
Okay.
and sent it to Oprah, which I just think is great.
Yeah.
Oprah has them on, and someone's like, just so you know, he's a full-on child molester. And then they're like, oh, okay. So he gets caught. The dad will stop at nothing to save the show. The dad wants the money. He's drunk on his own power. He makes the sisters tell the world that they're fine with it.
Yeah.
And they have openly said that they were traumatized by that.
Yeah.
Having to do that.
Yeah, they said that was probably the worst part is having to get on the camera and say that. Yeah.
And the oldest one, it's like Jenna and Jessa.
Yeah.
So I think it's Jessa is about to get married. So she now has to tell her husband, which she wasn't ever going to tell anyone. They were really
Right.
ashamed.
Yeah.
And, that's the worst part always about this.
Right.
The girl feels, and it's just embarrassing. And they don't want, to talk about that stuff. I don't blame them. And so now she has to tell her husband, and they're getting married. And TLC cancels the show. And Jim Bob makes a deal with TLC that they will do a spinoff, Jessa getting married, and then the other one, Jenna or whatever, getting married. And while she's in her wedding dress, she signs it. And what she signed was that they don't make any money, and he gets all of the money. And those spinoffs for both girls, where they were in their, she didn't know until she went to go have her first baby, where she was like, I don't want them in here when I'm having my baby. They're not going to be in here.
And they're like, too bad they are because you signed away.
And she was like, what? Her husband had to ask Jim Bob for money, and he said, what do you want, like $5 an hour? He offered him $5 an hour. Maybe he should go drain Dorit's face, and then he could make $100 an hour.
Oh, my God.
I mean, $5 an hour, Heather. You have to watch it. The last episode
So then after the baby, then they're like, we don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So they only did one season?
Yeah. No, it was more than one season, and they never got any money. I swear to God, he probably gave them $200, and they were stuck with TLC. That's why I'm like, they need to sue TLC. How dare TLC? They knew they were paying Jim Bob. They knew they weren't paying those girls. They had no money. And they were
I
both
just
married.
wonder if in 100 years from now or 50 years from now, people are going to think reality TV was a form of a modern slavery for people because there's no residuals and the kids don't get paid, the husbands don't get paid,
No.
Whatever. If it's a housewife, all those kids have to do their own deal when they're over 18 or they You know,
Some kind of strange human trafficking where you have to get in the tub.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me and my husband to do a tub scene? Like, I
Okay.
mean, like, and they do it. Yeah.
kissing.
They all do it.
You touched my taint.
Yeah, remember
Did
that?
I?
Remember
Yeah.
Meredith?
So gross.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So the last episode is a must because you really
okay,
you
well,
really
get
just
on it.
see.
It's Prime, Amazon Prime.
It's one of the honestly the
unbelievable.
best,
It's
most disturbing things I've seen this year.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you guys knew about this, but a psychologist says that it's a major red flag if you watch true crime stories to relax.
Uh-oh.
I agree.
So if you're relaxing before a Law and Order, I like Law and Order, but mine always was Dateline. From the early 2000s, the minute we were able to DVR stuff at our first house, I would look forward to waking up for a 2:00 feeding so that I could watch a Dateline about how a young couple, how a husband kills his wife. I mean,
at the feeding.
I loved, but see, my whole thing is I'm not into serial killers. I didn't watch Jeffrey Dahmer. I like a one-time crime of passion with a couple that is medium class, or not medium class, what do you call it?
Middle class?
Middle class, like, you know, they have a home, whatever. They're not like, something relatable to me. I like relatable murder to my life.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
and then like or a couple that's doing kind of well, and then she starts fucking the dentist, and the husband finds out and kills her, or she has the husband killed, I don't know. And then I'm like, oh my God, like you had this fabulous life and you threw it all away for some fresh dick.
Yep.
That is that type of stuff is extremely soothing to me.
But Dateline
and a
never
real
solves.
treat.
Do you care about that?
Yes, I do.
Rarely.
Well, they solve to the point of the prosecutor won or not.
Oh, well, I should say
Sometimes
this.
they do.
My favorite is people going missing, and they never solve those.
Oh, you like a going missing?
I love a young, attractive girl that goes missing. And it's what I watch when I'm depressed, and it's gotten to me mentally. And they're right. I saw this one where this.
What's your favorite going missing attractive girl?
Meaning what?
Like, well, my favorite.
Oh, which one going missing?
My favorite, though she was found, but my favorite, because I remember how much time it got. My favorite was a Raiderette that went to go do a modeling gig where she was driving a car, and the guy killed her. But she went missing for like a month, and because she was pretty blonde Raiderette from like the Inland Valley, I swear to God, they had every one of her friends on hard copy every night talking about her, and I was just like. Okay, so there was that.
My favorite is by far, what's her face, the Mormon, because she was found.
She was found, but you said you like a missing girl that's never found.
No, I didn't say they could never be found.
Okay.
I want them to be found.
You want them to be found.
But there's an example of why it got to me psychologically. I started watching this one where they specialize in like where they're caught on like closed caption cameras.
Yeah.
So there's like a video. It's so disturbing. And there's this one girl who's at Target at 3 p.m. She just graduated high school. She runs to Target to get her stupid boyfriend a gift for their 1-month anniversary or something. It's that dumb. And she's in the Target parking lot filled with cars, and someone pushes her into her car and just takes her. And instead of her fighting him off, because, you know, you only learn to do that after you watch hundreds of shows like this where I'm like, don't get in the car, don't get in the car. And now I was scared walking through the Grove. Literally, I was scared. I was like, I shouldn't go down there because it's dark and someone might want an older woman.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you start getting majorly paranoid. These shows, haven't you noticed, or no? Don't you think Peter's coming for you?
They say that he says some of us grew up with high stress situations, so people mistake peace for boring. To come home to yourself, you have to learn into the discomfort.
Lean into the discomfort.
Yes, lean into the discomfort. And then another person says, it distracts me from the pain I'm feeling in my life. I don't like it. It just redirects my anger.
It does really distract.
Yeah.
But then it comes back. That's the thing.
Right.
You don't ever get scared Peter's coming down the hall to like just off you.
No, I do. After I watch anything like a juicy, scary thing, or like more like a movie, I do feel like I'm in the movie for like a couple hours after.
Yeah.
Where I am like nervous going to the bathroom and stuff like that, but not like a Dateline. Dateline, the Keith Morrison's voice is just so soothing.
Yeah.
And I just like the way they do it. And even though I know that if they show the person talking about their wife who's went missing and they only show it this tight of a, like right under the chin around the head, I know it's because they're in a fucking prison and they're wearing an orange outfit.
You have the
But I have
down.
interviewed the Dateline guys and they go, if the prison will allow it, we do bring like a sweater and stuff so that it can go a little lower. And so when we're interviewing them, you don't totally know that the husband who's speaking so lovingly about his wife, because they don't, you're still, is it him? Probably not.
Right.
Because she did have a lover and she had a best friend who hated her. Like, then you're kind of like,
Yeah, you're building.
Yeah.
You're like, excuse me, I'm Steve. Okay, don't talk about how you hate her yet. Pretend you love her still.
yeah.
Okay, action.
Yes.
It's like
and
that.
And then they do the wider thing at the end, and you see him. He's in the prison, and he has just the sweater that Keith brought from his closet in Laguna Beach, and just like some orange pants left over. And you're like, yeah, I don't want the surprise. Don't ruin it for me. But I mean, I pretty much,
You've probably gotten real good at figuring it out.
yeah. But it's still comfort.
We're all the way to if there's no justice, don't even. There was one called like 3 Shallow Graves or 4 Shallow Graves or something, and it was like somebody recommended it. It was 8 episodes too long.
Oh yeah.
The shit should have been an hour.
Yeah.
We spent 8 hours on it. It was never solved. I'm
can't
I'm
have-
not gonna commit that kind of time. There's no
No.
justice at the end.
No
No,
justice. I need justice.
The other thing is what happens with like crime podcasts and stuff. I just go and I just wiki it. And then I'm like, okay, I know. But I
Right.
still can enjoy it if it's done right. I still can enjoy it.
I only want revenge.
Okay, Adele has,
Oh.
she says that she has a fungal infection from sweating in her Spanx on stage at Caesars. Here's the thing. Adele, much like Celine, they really like to crack some jokes in between the songs. And, they love it. They probably, just like comedians want to be singers, some singers, I think, want to be comedians. And you just sometimes, I don't think every bit hits. So she's like, so basically I have to sit in my own sweat. She says, so it looks like I'm a little athlete. I have to squirt the jock itch stuff on myself, and I don't know what the fuck. I just told you that. So anyway, and then she goes, at my age, I'm starting to get bad knees. You can relate to that.
I sure can.
And I got
And the jock itch.
Yep, got
she goes, I
that
got
too.
very bad sciatic in my left leg, and my L5 disc is not fucking there anymore. It's
Yep.
worn away. I want to also say, no one wants to hear about your sciatic nerves
No.
Or your
at
L5.
dinner,
No.
or when they're paying to see you sing.
No. How's your chicken parm?
I'd rather-
Oh, my jock itch is just.
Yeah,
In
no.
my L5. No.
Adele, we want to hear you sing "Rolling in the Deep," not itching your Spanx.
I can say it definitively, like with concerts, I don't really need any bits. I
No.
like a talking, I
Like,
guess.
yeah.
But Britney was just like, hey, y'all, and then was just going. It's like, and her extensions were falling out, and it was a heaven.
Heaven.
Yeah.
We don't need some shtick.
Nope.
No, we don't
Right?
need a tight 5 in between 2 songs.
No.
But
Like,
I
let's
mean,
get
I
it
think she's
together.
kind of known for that. But I think this article should be a warning to her that, you know what, do the show a little shorter. Just get to the songs. Caesars will be happier that the people are out spending money in the casino.
Yeah, maybe
we
you
don't
should.
need to see your tight 5 about your yeast infection from your Spanx.
No, what you should focus on is the shitty merch that you sold.
What
How
kind of
about
merch
that?
does she have?
How about that?
Does she have bad merch?
It wasn't 100%. Excuse me, but by the way, this merch you're wearing right now
Thank you.
it looks so, number one, so
By
soft
the way,
and comfortable.
I am the first one to say I'm a fucking delight and I'm a delight. and
Someone's
this
doing
shirt
that?
is from like 5 years ago and it's still available. Different
Oh.
shirts are available on my merch. No, there's so many people that have I'm a fucking delight on there. So if you're going to buy that saying, please go to heathermcdonald.net. Anyway.
We got to trademark it. It's too late now.
Ah, God, Peter's
Well, I
lazy.
love that merch.
Yeah.
Adele's we were almost blackout drunk when we saw her.
Good for you.
And as we do, and Julie, when she's blackout drunk, spends money. She has impulse control problems and bought, 3 sweatshirts that were not 100% cotton. They were synthetic. I'm surprised they didn't catch fire when she smoked a cigarette later. Forgot about it because she
Wow.
burned her own finger. They were that synthetic.
That's right, I did, yeah.
I mean, but the concert was great.
Okay.
Amazing.
But for as expensive as the concert was,
Those, I mean, we're talking cheap ass t-shirts and sweatshirts, like horrendous.
Itchy.
itchy.
Itch.
Like this. I put on. I was just
That's
gonna
what
give
gave her
it.
the jock itch.
Yeah,
her own merch.
That's right. Exactly.
Maybe you're right.
I tried just the other day before I threw it in the garbage. I bought a hoodie, an Adele hoodie. I put it on over a button-down shirt. Then got hot and I took it off. My entire shirt was black.
Oh, from the fuzzies, yeah.
Yeah, and that'll
threw
clog
it-
your.
threw it in the garbage.
That's not 100% cotton. So
Garbage.
Wow, you heard it here first, you guys. This is Marston 101. He is Hugh Hefner's son.
Oh.
And he's bisexual, and he is married to a woman, and he has an OnlyFans account.
where he
And
caters to men
I also
and
want to say
women?
this is his apartment. I mean, not
you'd think
not
he'd have more
great. I mean,
money.
where
I
is his
feel like
money? Where
this-
is his money from Hugh?
I feel like that lamp though and that piece of furniture could be from the Playboy Mansion. Don't they look 70s and authentic?
He wrote a book. Anyway, here he is. His wife's like not thrilled about it.
Why? This person loves women. They love women. They love boobs and stuff. They love vagina. All three of these people absolutely know what to do with a lady.
This is my favorite one.
So straight.
this-
so bisexual.
He had some bats on the wall, and he says Halloween time. Mm-hmm. And he's very tall and thin, and he looks a lot like Hugh.
He does.
He almost looks like a bat as well.
I just also
He might turn into a bat and fly away.
He does.
his brother is in politics. His brother was running for some office in LA, and he didn't get it. And then he has an OnlyFans account, and it's just like there's something I don't know. Like
I mean, it's on brand.
at least
on
he's
brand.
not. At least he's not exploiting women.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
and not paying them for their work after. That was part of the doc about
Right.
how these girls would sign for a photo shoot, and then these photos would be used on the internet 10 years later when the internet became a thing, and they never got paid for it. So at least he's just exploiting himself. So
that's great. And
props
his
to him.
veins. And his veins.
Carrying on the porny tradition that his father began.
Yeah. He also, let's see, he is going to save his earnings and to be able to buy a Pokemon trophy card. I'm not kidding.
What's a Poke? How much?
A Pokemon trophy card.
Oh, they
It costs up to 6 figures, but that is what he's saving. So you marry a guy, you think he's worth so much because he's Hugh Hefner's son. You find out he's bi, you're like, okay. You're living in this apartment, and he's like, but I'm going to make the money being on OnlyFans. You're like, all right. But once I get enough money, it's to buy a Pokemon card.
That's when you go, I gotta go.
You got to go.
That's the deal breaker there.
He offers a free monthly subscription, but which means he only makes money from charging for the premium content. Anyway, his profile only has 87 photos and 39 videos. Well, that's kind of a lot.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
We're not sure how OnlyFans works. Only thing we really know is what we learned from Larsa Pippen on Housewives of Miami.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's like basically where it can be like Patreon, a monthly subscription,
Yeah.
or you make money for like personally sending messages to people. So it's kind of like a cameo,
listen, his
like a
wife's not
sexy
thrilled
cameo.
about it, but I just helped his account by talking about it.
That's
Because, her name's Anna, and she's like, I'd rather him not do it, but he said she's out for me to pursue my dream. But in this article and Out, he didn't really get into being bi that much. I was like, well, who are you being bi with?
Right.
And is the content on the OnlyFans, which it indicates that he's bisexual.
I think that's the only people that would be looking at it. I don't think a
Ladies
straight
aren't
woman
on
is
there?
looking at this.
Like, oh, I'm gonna watch him J.O. all over that coffee
Pokemon
table.
card.
Yeah, I hope he gets his Pokemon card. So hot. He's so veiny. I love that veiny arm too.
Vascular.
Very vascular. Very vascular.
Speaking of creeps, Andrew Tate has been charged with rape and human trafficking in
Bye-bye.
Romania. This has been going for a while. Andrew and his brother Tristan are charged of rape, human trafficking, and forming a criminal group aimed at sexually exploiting women. The charges are that they manipulated 7 victims into believing they were entering into legitimate romantic relationships only to force them into performing pornographic acts for distribution on social media.
Slow clap for
So,
justice.
I mean, this will be very interesting to see for anybody that followed him and his whole thing of like, getting guys to be alpha males and all that stuff. So anyway, his attorneys say they're innocent. I don't know what happens in Romania, if that's a worse situation.
Well, fingers crossed. I can tell you what I hope happens in Romania.
Is that where he's going to jail? Because I don't know how
Well, that's where
tight
he's
they're-
been detained, and they charged him with it now. So that is where it, I guess, will be handled, not here.
I don't even know how stringent like our laws on that are. We want like, we just want the worst for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was always an act. I thought him being that misogynistic was almost like in Ann Coulter is a bit of an act.
Yeah.
To be like, oh my God, I can't believe it, you know? So I was like, but I mean, granted, people followed what he said, but I was like, oh, come on, relax. Like he's just doing this because people are paying to be part of his stupid group, which was like $40 a month to learn how to be a masculine dude and have chicks like you.
And is that where he
didn't
was
really-
putting this porny content?
I don't know about the porny. I don't understand the porny content stuff. Like all I knew it was his clips, or sometimes he would just talk about stuff, and sometimes I was like, all right, it's kind of gross, but it's kind of it's like entertainment. I didn't really think. I thought he tapped into a world of like you know, weird nerdy guys that, you know, didn't know how to get a check, and
Yeah.
they were dumb enough to pay for it, and I was like, I kind of just thought it was like a freedom of speech, whatever. It's not my bag. But then I realized, no, there's all this really dark shit in which these girls were. So we'll see what
I've
happens.
been to Romania and Bulgaria, and my one thing from being there that struck me as so crazy is that on like, I like to watch like European MTV no matter what country I'm in, and every commercial on MTV was a warning for young girls to never give their license to anyone. It was always about human trafficking.
Wow.
So that is like the mecca. So the fact that he was there, it was there to get young, vulnerable girls who believe that they need jobs, they believe they're going to get taken somewhere, whatever they're lied to, and that's why he was there.
Okay, this is
Holy Ozempic, she better get ready to get with a lady.
Ozempic camel toe.
Yeah. But
That might be. What if that is also a result
Side
of
effect.
Ozempic? Your rings fell off, but your camel toe grows.
And you go blind and don't see it? Also? Did you? I mean,
This is
That thing
Caroline Stansberry from Ladies of London, most recently Real Housewives of Dubai. She's a very pretty woman. She's always been thin, but I watched the show. She clearly has lost 30 pounds.
yes.
She's in a
Did not need to lose
jumpsuit
30 pounds.
no.
with her young husband, and the camel toe situation is so bad, and that is why. Listen, I have a pair of Lululemons that are on its last thread, and I won't replace them because Lululemon stopped making the kind that I like, which is the seam is like a curve around the leg, not up the
Yep.
vag. Now every Lululemon is up the thing. Anybody that has a line of leggings that is not a split up the crotch, send them to me and I'll promote them. Because being that I'm tall and I'm super sensitive to being called to have a camel toe. When I was on Chelsea lately, Chelsea would refer to my camel toe a lot, which I never even had. And then I would go do stand-up. And then at the end of the show, someone would be like, I don't think you have a camel toe. I'm like, thanks for listening to my act for an hour and a half. Just a camel toe. Like, I'm just very... And there were these little things that you could buy, like a little thing
like
that
a
you
blocker.
like a blocker to
Yeah.
not make... Anyway,
Can I say I'm in a jumpsuit now, and listen, the only like
no,
the
there was no
only-
camel toe in that jumpsuit, by the way.
No, but the only underwear I own, they're all black. So the only underwear I have that aren't black are thongs. I
Okay.
don't like to prefer to wear a thong, and it's a very small one. This is white. I didn't want to chance anything coming out of my vagina and getting
Okay.
onto this white jumpsuit. When we parked here,
Yeah.
there's a Target, and
Yeah.
also many people relaxing, let's say, around on the street area.
Okay.
Julie was
thanks.
on her side of you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Julie was on her side of her truck. I turned toward the Target. I unzipped. My thong was so far up my vagina that it felt and looked like that inside. You couldn't see
Okay.
it, but that's what it felt like. I unzipped this all the way down, stuck my it's open. I stuck my hand
readjusted.
inside,
Yeah.
pulled it out, make eye contact with a woman at Target, and I said, "I'm really sorry." and pulled my hand out of my own crotch and zipped this all the way back up and then turned around to Julie. Let's
And then
go.
did someone give you $5?
I mean, honestly, like the people who
Or half of their sandwich?
yeah, the people relaxing on the street were like, woo, thank you. I mean, it happens. You can't.
And the lady in Target's like, I'm coming to this Target every day.
I just have to say the comments are the best part, okay? Oh boy, that body set is not flattering. Sorry. So nobody was going to tell her? That's effed up. Lips don't lie. Modeling the latest in camel toe couture. It's a look.
Is this on her own?
Yes.
And she's just thinking everyone's going to be like, you look great. But
Yeah.
everyone's like, girl.
No, it was Real Housewives of Dubai, but I know they must have grabbed it from hers. Real Housewives of Bravo must have grabbed it from Caroline's from Dubai, but clearly she, filmed it.
I can attest to the Lululemon thing. I only wear sweatshirts that cover it now because I just can't. And
Well,
I just can't.
the summer is a good time because a lot of people are doing naked bikinis. They're taking over a sexy summer hot trend. So it's like clear and then you just like cover. But listen, there's something more exciting for you.
Okay.
Women are proudly flaunting their pubic hair in bikinis at the beach.
Like on the side or the top or either?
No, that you put on your bikini. You have not shaved or waxed in a year. And you don't trim it or anything. You show it. And they say it's your personal choice to shave, wax, or grow your body hair. There's no wrong way for your body to look. You don't have to be hairless to wear a bikini, they're saying. Other people are saying, no, you should. And they said removing your hair down there is something doctors do not recommend because it actually functions as a barrier to protect from infection.
I guess that's why I always get infections.
I will
I'm full bald.
So get ready. Once the sun comes out, it's going to be full bush July.
Time.
We've
Wow.
seen you in
Just
a tiny
as Pride
bikini.
ends, bush July starts.
Wow.
Bush July. Well, what are you
Yeah.
going to do? Because we've seen you in a tiny bikini and I didn't see one pube.
I am going to continue to shave and trim all around
Pubes. Okay.
the pubes. Yeah.
You
I
didn't
will
even have
never
one
be
pop
this
out.
person. Huh?
What'd you say?
She didn't even have one pop out.
Not even one single pube. No.
No.
But I watched this thing the other day on YouTube about, and listen, let me just say this. Everybody can do what they want. Everybody should do what they want. If you like furry and hairy, good. It's not for me. I don't like it on my own body. If I could be hairless, I would.
I will say, I think those tuck-it-friendly bathing suits would probably be good for someone that doesn't want to shave. I'm just saying. It's a wider vagina moment for whoever.
Oh, I see.
Man, woman.
Oh.
But right, because
Whatever.
Yeah.
you're getting interesting.
Yeah.
I might look into that.
Yeah.
You can tuck your bush.
Yeah.
Just tuck it in there.
Okay.
You can either tuck your balls or your bush.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
matter.
mean, some bushes really do puff
Whatever
out.
people want.
Yeah.
Whatever people want.
It's pride.
I mean, I could tuck my long lips.
Yeah.
Just tuck your lips
These
back.
lips don't lie.
Yeah. Caroline Stansberry could get one.
Yeah.
There was this little show I watched on YouTube that's like a show about just like this, like
Yeah.
people's different bodies and stuff and all. It's all great and whatever. And there was a woman who's doing like hair pride, and she was super hairy, like everywhere. And she's decided she does not want to live in shame or in fear anymore, and so she's not shaving anything.
Okay.
And she's letting all of it out and dating guys. So
Okay.
and then you watch her on.
So
these,
she has like a stash, a mustache.
she actually didn't have a facial hair.
Like she has
had
like
it on her
full
chest.
pits.
Full
Here.
pits, full chest, like here, like coming
Oh,
out here.
ew.
I know. I knew Heather didn't understand. She's growing hair in places that some people can't grow it.
I mean, exactly, which I thought was
Yeah.
interesting because I could have a full
I mean, some of
beard.
us just can't do that.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But I've never grown, like I haven't had like
Wow.
a chest hair, even though
Yeah.
women love it. I can't seem to grow it. So,
Right.
But she had no facial hair, really, not a beard, but everything else was really hairy.
Wow.
And I just was like, there's bravery right there. Because I don't know, I couldn't do it or deal with it.
No.
Just to be honest,
It's just another thing to maintain.
it's who.
Well, it's happening. I just want to tell you guys that. Okay, here's studies show that happy couples are less likely to post about their partners on social media, and those who post more often tend to feel insecure about their relationships. Well, we certainly know that. Just look at Croy and Kim Berman.
Uh-oh.
Divorce from hell. They hate each other. They are both asking for full custody. They are both saying the other is an awful parent, and they hate each other. And all they did was they were both so guilty of the long tributes, every holiday, every little hot thing where she'd always be like, and acting so in love. And
I fell for that shit, hook, line, and sinker, man. I can barely believe that this is true.
Yep.
That's how much I believed their stupid, like, everything. I mean, of course I knew the show was produced, but I thought that he seemed wildly obsessed with her and her with him.
Me too. And like with each kid and everything. And then, yeah.
And then what? Do you just think in the last year she just like did Ozempic and started gambling and smoking again? I don't understand. Like, what happened there?
I think that she always gambled because they said that in the show. There's parts of the two older girls being like, our moms have gambled. There was a tweet that one of the girls said, oh my God, my mom took me to the casino and left me in the car for 3 hours and things like that. So 100% that is true. We saw that on the show. But I thought what we also saw in the show is a great connection and like really both being into the kids a lot.
Yeah.
What I think happened is the show did not get picked up. Money was running out and she was not going to change her spending. And then they had the whole issue with not paying the foreclosure and this and that. And then all the resentment and everything that like her probably resenting him for him being dependent on her business of the family to keep them going, and you're not making any money. You're not bringing anything in the NFL. So what if I want to fucking gamble? I'm the one that just did, a post for $10,000. Like, so I think she's resenting like this isn't fun anymore. The kids are older. I don't even need you to take care of the kids anymore. I don't like it. Then he's resenting her for spending out so ridiculously and gambling and everything. And then they are about to lose their home. And I just think the ugliest shit that they have kept secret for 10 years came out in horrible fights, and there's no return now. There's the point of no return. They have said it all. They have said
like
it
they'll
all.
never get back together.
No, I don't think they'll ever get back together.
Was he resenting her when he was driving her to everything on the Housewives? Remember how he'd always drive her?
Yeah, he drove her. When she did my show, she said, I don't drive. I don't drive, so he has to rent a car and drive, and I don't. Not only I think she drives, but she can't sit in the back seat, so they couldn't get like an Uber. They'd have to rent a car, even though it doesn't make sense because you're here for 2 days. He'd have to rent a car and he'd have to drive her. Then she wouldn't go up. She wouldn't go in elevators for a while because she got stuck in one once. Oh. So then he would, I don't know if she'd have to get on a piggyback or whatever, because then she didn't want to go upstairs either.
Oh my God.
And so, yes, he did cater to her every whim.
And do we know why he left the NFL?
I don't know. I think it just ended. I think he did it for a couple seasons and then whatever, you get to be 30 and it's over. I don't know. But, and I don't think he was maybe that great of a player. But I just saw this girl that used to do their wigs and stuff, because even the other girls started wearing wigs. Like, why? The young girls. And she's like, oh my God, look at this. And the girl has her expensive wig, and she's having a girl add hair extensions to the wig to just make it that much more fuller and much more lush. Like, and then just all the Louis Vuitton. She just spent. So now she's like trying to sell everything, and she's like, don't buy on Kim's Closet right now because Corey would get half of it. Wait till we're divorced before you buy the Kim stuff.
Ugh. Do you think, are they trying to get a show of some sort?
No, I really think they hate each other. I just don't think you'd spend lawyers and say nasty stuff about each other if it wasn't true. In the end, I think she should get a show, and I think the show should be get the cameras right now and show her being like, having heartfelt like documentary moments of like, I can't believe this happened and this is why it happened. Yeah. I would rather see that than her just join Atlanta, but most likely she'll probably just join Atlanta, go back to Atlanta.
Oh, I'd definitely rather see her. I don't want her back on Atlanta without Nene, but I would definitely love to see her now in a not so produced, fake bullshit thing, like right now, being furious, but it wouldn't be on Bravo, right? It would
No,
have to
I
be
know,
on, like,
but I mean,
E!
it's not. I think she's already signed. I think what we don't know is that she's probably already like doing a deal with Bravo, which is a set deal. Which okay, fine, but and in doing that, then she can't go do something else.
If she did a deal with Bravo, would Croy get half of that right now, or no?
I don't know. They're probably going to try to get the divorce going, or no date of separation, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You know, if he gets custody or if he gets half custody, she's going to have to pay because he doesn't have an income.
He gets an NFL pension,
Right.
but we don't know how much that is.
Right.
I'd be pissed too if I got a football player and then a year later he's done playing.
A year
No,
later, he
sir.
was brushing her wigs.
Yeah, like no, you're gonna need to go be a
She
commentator.
got his blonde eyelashes dyed. And I think he even got a couple little extensions. I do.
Because he started looking like,
Yeah.
if they're going in there, they might as well just add some in.
Yeah.
They both started looking wild, like insane.
He looks really thin now, though. He looks very different and thin and aged. Tell everybody about your new show, everything that's going on in your lives, so they can get more of Brandy and Julie in their lives.
Well, we do need everyone to join our Patreon. That's the main thing. That's at julieandbrandy.com. You can hear a free episode. That's the bread and butter.
To support the girls.
Yeah, we just have to keep adding jobs, Heather.
Yes.
We don't get to ever take any jobs away. In a month we added several new jobs and then never quit any of our old ones. So we have a free podcast called Dumb Gay Politics if you like liberal politics, which no one does. And then the Patreon is not politics and
At all.
it's just us fucking around.
Yes.
And then we have a show on Sirius, which is the Jeff Lewis Live After Show. So if you like Jeff Lewis, you listen to his show, and then we do the after show.
That is great. Thank you, girls.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Love you,
you
Heather.
Bye.
Happy birthday month, Pride Month.
Yes, thank you.
Heather Pride.
Thank you.